Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome to the Okami GenreVerse channel. I am Larry Okami. So today I have finally beat Echoes of Aincrad. This was an amazing game. I'm going to switch over scenes real quick as we talk about the review. This won't be an official review in terms of like it's super high production and all that stuff. This is just a normal review from a normal guy. But I have 51 hours in this game. The reason why it says I'm 82% complete is because there is post-game content, which I'm not going to spoil what that is for you guys, but we're just going to talk about Echoes of Aincrad. So first off, you are going through season 1 of Sword Art Online in terms of like you're a beta player at the beginning, so you're a beta tester and you get to make your character. And granted, when you make your character in this game, you don't look like how you do after you beat the beta. You get to actually customize your character after you go through the beta of Echoes of Aincrad at the beginning of the story. So you get to make your character early on because there's only like one beta quest, and then that's when, just like the anime, Akihiko Kayaba comes out and he tells everybody like, hey, if you die in the game, you die in real life. Make it to floor 100, and then once you do that, everything will be all right if you can survive. And that's when you can customize your character. And I want to get into the people that you meet in this game. So your party members, I'm not going to spoil all of them. I do have one of them with me. Her name is Stina. Very cool character, very cool abilities, and she's very helpful in combat. But one thing you guys will realize as time goes on that I liked a lot with the story is that this game knows how to make these characters very realistic in terms of like the way they react to the fact that they're stuck in this game and that they can't get out. And some think that they can, that they think that Akihiko Kayaba is lying about dying in this game. And it's very interesting to see how these characters start from floor 1 and onward, because there's 2 floors in this game, and I don't want you to sound like, I want it to sound like, you know, I'm trying to scare you guys off from this game, but there are 2 floors and it's packed with content. It took me about 35 hours to beat this game. I did a bit of side quests, but I mostly did the main mission, and it took me that long to go through this game because I took my time with it. But going back again to the characters and why that matters to the floors and the threats and the side quests, you really get to see a lot of the characters' reactions to other players, player deaths, players that, you know, end up deleting themselves, if you know what I mean by that. Players that are player killers, which is insane, but you do meet a couple of those, and it's cool how this game shows through the cutscenes like their reactions. It's very realistic how they go about, I just slipped off the side there, that's funny, how they go about showing the dread and the existential crisis that these characters as teenagers, as young adults, as they're going through this game and they're trying to figure out, well, man, how do I get home to my family? How do we even fight the first boss on the first floor, you know? And of course this game follows a lot of the story beats. You do meet some of the main characters, which is really cool. They're not voice acted by the same people, so it might throw you off when you hear like Asuna's voice or Kirito, but there's also some other surprises in terms of characters that you do meet on here that's pretty neat. And other than that, when it comes to characters, I was surprised how well done the party was. So when you fully get your full party and you guys get to explore, you guys get new companions, it's very focused on how these characters deal with this world and how do they deal with their own feelings towards things that are happening, and how they're trying to keep each other safe as they go about not only exploring the first and second floor, but also exploring the overall world, helping out other players and other NPCs that are just a part of the video game, that aren't actually real life people, to get better items, to protect other people, and to get themselves strong enough to fight very strong bosses and get cool loot and cool weapons and all that. So it's cool that you're basically seeing all these characters grow together as time goes on. I think that's a really huge plus to this game. So moving on from characters, which we might go back to just because the party, I love the characters in this game. They're really well done. A lot of these characters are original, so we get to see a lot of the story through their eyes. I think that's very, very cool. So we'll go from characters, and now we'll go to the world. And the world is very beautiful. One thing I do like about this game is that it takes you to a lot of different areas. Right now I'm in a major dungeon, which is pretty cool. But when you're exploring like the linear open world, I think that's where this game shines the most. Only thing I wish that they did more was have players, like you can see like player NPCs like helping each other fight like a mini boss or enemies. So like when you're going out in the field, it's just basically you and your party member, or sometimes multiple party members. I kind of wish you could see NPCs in the open world because they're all within the towns. And speaking about just the world in general and the things that are in it, so when you go to the towns, they're very populated. There's a lot of players doing things. There's NPCs as well too, they're doing their daily tasks or daily activities, and you get to interact with them and they give you quests, and you can also find quests outside of the world, bring stuff back to people, help people out, get better rewards. That stuff is pretty cool. But the only gripe I have really in terms of the world is just I wish we had more NPCs out there fighting that we can help. Like, oh, you got like an indicator on your map. Like if you played Spider-Man 2018, or if you played the Miles Morales game or anything like that, there's always like an indicator like, hey, there's a person over here that needs help. Or even like the Arkham games or something like that, you know, like there's someone in the linear open world that needs help, and you know, you could go over there and help them out. I kind of wish they had like a system like that, but you know, that's all right, because typically when you're doing side quests, bro, they're not too long. The main quests are typically longer quests in the open world. The side quests won't take you too long. Once you get to the second floor, it'll kind of take you a little bit to explore a lot of the area, because I feel like the second floor is way bigger than the first floor, bro. Way bigger, and you'll see what I mean if you guys get this game, or if you guys want to watch people play it, which I do recommend. I'll say that in the end of this video. But so you do get to explore the second floor and the first floor. There's a lot to do there. This game is very heavily focused on dungeons as you move through the game, especially in game. It's going to focus a lot on you going through dungeons and you completing dungeons to get things to make you even stronger and to go past your level cap and to overall get the most out of your stats. So that kind of segues into the weapons. So we have a bunch of weapons in this game. You have a sword, you have a heavy hammer, you have a heavy axe, you have a light axe, you have a shield. I'm using the knives right now. And you have that, and as you're using weapons, they're all distinct. So you have your abilities that you can use that are tied to any ability that you want to use if you have that unlocked. So let's say I want to use my sword ability. Well, if I have the sword equipped, I can, you know, go through my two abilities here. If I'm using the rapier, I can use that, or the knife, or the mace, the giant sword, like the great sword and the great axe. So we have a bunch of weapons to mess with, a bunch of abilities, but you can only use the abilities that's for that weapon, so you can't mix match, sadly. I wish you could, but you can only use the weapon that you pick when you go ahead and leave camp and go to the first or second floor and start exploring the world. Items are pretty helpful. If you guys do play this game, I do recommend in terms of your items that you always carry. Let me see here, and I'm gonna show you guys. So items are very helpful, so make sure you guys have a lot of health in this game. So any type of HP recoverable items are really good. Make sure that you always have a bomb of some sort and a fire mine or a fire pellet or a fire stone, because there's certain chests that you can only get if you blow up the wall using a fire bomb, or my bad, using a normal bomb or a normal fire stone, or there's going to be like chests with like a bunch of vegetation and stuff like that that you need to blow up or burn with a fire mine or a fire stone. So yeah, keep a bomb stone or a bomb mine or a flame mine. Actually, keep both of those, a flame mine and a flame stone. Other than that, depends on what else you guys want to do. I would definitely keep the blink talisman, which I don't have, but there'll be some chests in the game where you can use like a blink talisman and you can teleport kind of to the area that you need to go to. So definitely keep that. But other than that, if you guys want to make a poison build and have like poison stones, frost stones, you can clear yourself using sacred cleansing crystals to get away like from getting poisoned and all that. There's different things you guys can mess with here. I typically use a lot of health because I like to just hack and slash on this game, which we'll talk about in the gameplay now. So this game is a game where you can hack and slash, but you have to be careful that that yellow bar that you guys see. Actually, let me move myself for you guys. This isn't the most official review, but that yellow bar that you see that went away, that is your stamina bar. So every time you execute like your light, heavy, you know, you'll go ahead and use that. But since I'm not in combat, it's not going to take that up, especially when I'm running. But if you get into combat and you start running or start attacking, it will start to consume that. So in this game, you need to be very careful, especially at the beginning, not so much later on, because you already know how to like maneuver enemies and how to parry and all that. But just be mindful of your yellow stamina bar, and then the blue bar is your actions. So that's like your special skill ability that you can go ahead and input that, and then your character will pop off that skill and it'll take a bit of that blue bar. Let's see what else. You can hot tag your partner in and out of combat. They'll still fight, but let's say that you're being pressured, just hit the Y button and it'll, or triangle, whatever that might be for you guys, and that will have your character go, or have your companion, my bad, help you out, which is pretty cool. let's see what else. So yeah, that story, that's the world, that's the weapons. Check out the weapons. They're very, very good in this game. And that's the gameplay, which I think the gameplay is the strongest. I think the open world can be slightly more alive and better, but I like what this game is doing. They can always change that in the future if they need to, but I feel like for this game it makes sense. I mean, the open world is a little bit empty, but it looks beautiful. Like I said, I wish there was more NPCs. The combat in this game is fun. It feels very, very good, very, very fluid. The attacks feel seamless. And you can pick whatever weapon type you want to your desire. I'm trying to go for all the trophies, so I'm gonna go ahead and use all the weapons and whatnot. Let's see. With that said, I don't want to keep this too long because we're covering a lot here. Let me see if I can go ahead. This is an in-game dungeon, so I'm not gonna spoil anything. Like I said, you do get to see main characters in this game. You do get to do really cool stuff. I think the story, like I said, it shines a lot. It shows the threat that these characters have of dying and, you know, not being able to make it back to the real world. Like I said, they knocked that out of the water. There's a bunch of surprises with the story and with their character growth as well too. And it also focuses a lot on the secondary main character, Iori. She's a very, very huge part of this game. More important than I feel like your character. I feel like she is the main character, and you guys will end up seeing who Iori is when you guys get the game. But yeah, other than that, we knocked out the story, we knocked out the world, the gameplay, the characters. The soundtrack is really good, especially on certain parts of the game, especially towards the end. Soundtrack gets crazy. Oh, bosses. As you guys can see right here, there's a boss. Bosses are really, really cool. They're very dynamic. They're very hard. So no matter if you're playing normal, no matter if you're playing hard or very hard or whatever the final game mode is that you lock near the end, be careful how you approach bosses because it does matter what items you have and your playstyle. Because bosses are very unforgiving in this game. This game is very aggressive. So if you don't know how to play defensively or how to use defensive items and defensive gameplay, you will be punished. There are times to be super aggressive, but being defensive in this game is gonna go a long way, especially when it comes to like taking off enemy limbs and trying to like if you're fighting a boss and he has like 3 phases, there'll be cool stuff that you can do where you can like cut their leg off or cut their arm off of a certain monster, and it'll make it easier to fight it. So take advantage. As you guys can see, this game again is super, super aggressive. I know I'm talking, I gotta be careful here, but that's one thing I was telling you guys. Like this game is overly aggressive with their enemies, so be careful. But the bosses in this game, you guys are gonna love them. They're really, really cool. They're really, really detailed. This game makes you think a lot. So if you guys like bosses that really make you think, like, all right, well, what's the easiest option I can do and the most efficient option I can do to get rid of this boss? You know, this game's gonna test that whole merit just in general. Normal enemy types are really good. There's a lot of enemy types in this game I think you guys are gonna like. I hate saying so much. Oh my gosh. As you guys can see, these guys are freaking, they want to fight me. I'm using the knife, which is really cool. This guy's trying to stagger me and he blew me up. But the enemy designs are really, really good in this game. There's a lot of variety. I never felt like, oh man, there needs to be more enemy designs. No, I think for what they had for this game, it's really good. If you guys can see, my stamina bar went down. Oh, I blocked a lot of that, but I didn't block the last bit of it and I got blinded. No, that's not good. I like the enemies. They're very unforgiving too. I'm getting destroyed by everybody, so you have to bear with me here as I try to see where they're at. I know the main guy's right here, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit him. That takes care of him. And then there's a one guy that keeps screaming, that keeps buffing them, because I can feel it every time they hit me, like a truck. But yeah, enemy designs are cool, aggressive, just like the bosses. They're like mini bosses, honestly. I don't know how I'm gonna beat this game on the hardest difficulty. I want to give it a shot for the heck of it, you know what I mean? The loot's really fun on this game, so there is a lot of loot. So if you like loot-based games where you're getting rewarded for your time, bro, this game is very rewarding when it comes to picking up loot. As you guys can see, there is so much loot in this game. You guys can see all that stuff right there, and you guys can craft too. You guys can craft your own items. I don't craft too often. I usually I try to buy my items, but if you guys are into crafting, this game gives you the option to craft your weapons, and it gives you the option to craft your consumables, which is really neat. So there's that option for players as well out there if they prefer to do that type of stuff. Nothing wrong with crafting. Crafting honestly does go a long way. It'd be cool to get like a crafting buff rather than like if you just bought it. That'd be kind of neat. I just messed this up big time. Watch, we'll take off something on him. So we hit him and then we took off the little bone mask thingy that this rat had. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, so other than the craftable items, the characters, the world, Is there anything else I'm missing that I can put in this review for you guys? Unofficial review. No, I don't want to spoil the story. That's why I don't want to talk about it too much. But if you watch the anime and you like season 1, oh my gosh, you're gonna love the game. And you also just get to play yourself, and you get to go through the story with your own companions in your own party rather than following Kirito, which I think is really neat. Let me go ahead and pick up Stina real quick. She is a really good teammate, bro. You guys have to get her. That is a spoiler. I mean, you do get her like a little bit before midway in the game, but highly recommend using her as much as possible. Either that or Yori. There's just so many good companions, bro. Yeah, with that said, I'll leave you guys to it. So my official review for Echoes of Aincrad, even though I'm going through the end game right now, I will rate Echoes of Aincrad, and this is my personal opinion, this is my personal review of this game. I'm going to rate this from where it stands, because of how much fun I had.
It's over.
I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. Genuinely. I have 51 hours on it. There's been tons of games that have come out this year that I still need to beat, like Crimson Desert and 007. I gotta beat Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which we'll also do reviews on. But for this game specifically, and the fun that I'm having with it, and the fact that there's a lot more additional in-game content with DLC coming out in the future to expand upon different floors in the future, just my overall experience with this game, for me personally, I think this game is worth it if you are a Sword Art Online fan, and if you're a fan of this overall world and these characters and the dread of being in this game, and especially if you like the idea of what season 1 did, where if you die in the game, you die in real life, but if you die in the game, it'll delete your file and put you at the beginning. You don't have to do that, obviously. You unlock that game mode later, but if you're just trying to play a fun game with loot, with cool abilities, with cool weapon skills, with cool characters and cool companions that'll help you out, I think this game is worth it for the Sword Art Online fans. Now let's say that you are not a Sword Art Online fan, or maybe you're in the middle and you don't know too much about it, then yeah, I would get this game when it goes on sale. Yeah, and that'd be my official review. Either get it on sale if you're not a Sword Art Online fan, or watch more content on this game. And if you are a Sword Art Online fan, this is just me personally, where I put my money where my mouth is. I bought the game day 1. That's just me. I had a lot of fun with it, and I've only seen the first season of Sword Art. I have no idea who these like other characters when I played Fractured Daydream was. So this game only takes place on the first 2 floors, so you only see just a few of the main characters. But yeah, so that's my official review. But with that said, if you guys can like, comment, share, subscribe, I really hope you guys enjoy this review. I know it's not packaged like a perfect review where we're cutting the different things that I'm talking about, where it's showing you guys like the cutscenes and the gameplay and all the other weapon skills and all that. I'm just giving you guys a raw, just normal review from just a normal guy, you know what I mean? And I hope that my opinions and my views on this game can help you. Like I said, it's not a perfect game. There's things that they could definitely change. I feel like that's more with the open world, but what they did with the story and the characters, and the fact that it builds upon that after you beat the game, I'm liking it so far. So I'm looking forward to future DLC and future projects that, or future updates that they're working on for this game. But yeah, with that said, like I said, like, comment, subscribe. It helps get this video out to the world, and I will see you guys in the next review. Y'all take care. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys are going to try this game, not try it, or if you have tried it, what you think of it. I'll see you guys very soon.